You've spoken twice about vetting your realtor, your real estate agent, the person who's managing your rental or your purchase. For an ordinary person, what does that mean? Does it mean, no, but LeLo, I've seen her face on all the boards, so clearly she knows what she's doing? Or is there like a basic checklist of guys, ask these questions, look at these things and
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, it's true. There's not really a right way of knowing is this the right realtor. That's why it's important to have your basic education. You don't have
for yourself.
Yes, to have basic education of where you want to buy and all of that. And once you've got the basics, because you're not gonna go, you're looking for a property, you're excited. You're not gonna go read a book or watch a video on property, because all those videos tell you different things. And that is why I'm saying, when I go back to the first question of renting versus buying, most of these videos will tell you buying is more important. So you're looking at what type of, who's talking to you.
Yeah.
Is it a person that's talking to you from a perspective of, I want you to buy from me?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then some people will tell you renting is better. Is it a person that's a rental estate agent that's looking at it from a perspective of, I want you to rent my prop from me? You understand what I'm saying? So with the realtor, vetting your realtor, and, just determining if this is the right realtor, the questions they ask you, how much do you earn? Do you have any extra income? What are you buying the property for? And sometimes I'll meet clients and I say, why are you buying the property for? And they'll think, that's quite rude. And then I have to explain, I'm asking because should you want to, you've got another property perhaps, you want to invest, you have children, all of that, I can advise you better from that perspective, and that's a realtor you want to work with.
Do your own basic research, your own basic education. I like what you're raising about. Find out the why of the realtor.
Yeah.
What is your motive? Are you going to earn commission? How much are you going to earn? If I choose this, you'll make less money.
Yeah.
What if you don't make any money? Are you still going to help me? Do you genuinely care, or is there something else? And even if there is something else and you want to make a lot of money, tell me, look, I'm trying to sell this property. And unfortunately, from what I've seen, your industry is almost similar to second-hand car dealerships in that people really try to offload stuff that's been sitting for a while. And they sell a lot of dreams, and it's sad. Where else would you say people can maybe learn just basic? Before I go to a realtor, you're telling me about motivational speakers on social media. So where do I start? Do I Google? Where do I start if I want to just get a basic understanding of the property industry?
You can call an agency, a firm, not from I'm looking to buy perspective and I need a realtor. But if you can call a firm and ask property consulting firms as well, or realtors that deal with property consulting as well, they consult with you before you say, just come in and say, I'm ready to buy a property, but I just needed some education, and them finding out why you're buying the property. Like I said, what's your budget, what's your earning capacity, all of that stuff. Where do you live? The area, are you looking for long-term investment, or really you just want a short-term investment? I work with a group of investors who's a family actually, and I've been working with them, I think this is the third year now, and they are property short-term investors. They believe in just buying a dilapidated property, flipping it and passing it over to someone that wants to invest long-term.
Do you offer property consulting? Would you be open to people contacting you and being like, yo, LeLo, please teach us?
Yeah.
We want to know.
I do.
Do you think all the banks are the same? If someone wants to buy a property, I know as we're filming this, West Bank / FNB are in trouble because one of their ex-employees, I think contractors, has gone out to say they've been charging black people higher rates.
Yes,
and it's not the first time, because back in the day, when First Rand FNB bought Sambo, there was a lot of legacy apartheid stuff. I worked in banking, so I've made videos explaining to people the system I worked in, Absa Personal Loans, and also at Standard Bank, Vehicle and Asset Finance. The system doesn't have race as a criteria. We used to take race at Absa, I don't know if they still do, for statistical purposes. But for the machine itself, it doesn't pick up because we give a score for everything. But people have gone on to say, Pen siyakuzwa, but at the end of the day, it's not your bank. You're not the CEO, and you don't actually know what the system does out there. And there's these stories even today. Emerald Van Sale is this man's name. He's on Twitter X at Interreg, I think is his name. He's been fighting a lot of these banks, Standard Bank as well. I think Nedbank. In your experience, in your opinion, are all the banks the same? Are there some banks that are better than others?
No, they are definitely. Some banks are willing to negotiate more. When
You
it comes
can name
to,
them. Sorry,
to
that's why I'm
interest.
asking. So we don't have to be genuine. You can be
Usually,
like, yo, I've seen.
what we use is all the four major banks. Nedbank, FNB, I think Standard Bank, and ABSA.
Okay.
And then there's now SA Home Loans,
Yeah.
which has come in, and they've got a mandate with the housing subsidy with the government. So if you
Okay.
are a government employee, and most of them don't know this, and
Most government employees don't know this.
Yes.
Okay.
I've met a lot of government employee clients that don't know that, they benefit, I think it's less rates, or sometimes their affordability, it's a bit, they don't really afford to buy a property based on the criteria or the standards of a normal, bank like ABSA, FNB, blah, blah, blah. And then SA Home Loans caters for them because the government puts in a little something in their pockets.
Thank you for the plug.
Yeah.
One
so
of
if you're
my
a nurse or anything like that.
nurse, police officer, school teacher, administrator, if you work at Home Affairs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
One of my mentors, Kulufelo Maponya, part of the Maponya family, he's a shareholder at SA Home Loans.
Yeah.
We've spoken a lot about some of the work they've done there. And again, having come from the banking space, I wasn't even aware, I don't know if it's still the case today, that SA Home Loans signs the most home financing deals, particularly because they still, I don't know if they still do, maybe they've changed, but they used to do individual versus a system where they literally go one-on-one. So it's a great plug, especially for government employees, even though I was kokelanga, but
yes,
you know what I mean?
But it is what it is, because I think I've had a lot more wins with my clients, yes, using SA Home Loans, because you get acquainted with one of the agents, the home loan advisors or whatever they're called, and when you have a certain client, most of the time you'll find that a client's credit status is really good, but because of the history or whatnot, sometimes the banks won't approve them, and you go to SA Home Loan and they get approved. Yes. Another thing that the banks do, I don't know about the race thing, but I know one thing that the banks do is if you've got a degree, you get a certain discount on your interest rates.
If you have a qualification? Really?
Yes, not a diploma, a degree.
Yes. We have to investigate. Yes.
I think they think that...
He pays high interest.
No, I think they think that you are going to stay employed for longer. Obviously, they're giving you the loan, expecting that you're going to stay employed and you're going to be able to pay off your bond until you're done with it,